Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Today is April 1st, 2024, April Fool's Day, and no, this isn't an April Fool's Day video. This is a legitimate topic we're discussing today, and that is that 10 days from now, on April 11th of this year, it will mark the 3-year anniversary of the finale of the Ben 10 reboot. Yes, it has been 3 years since that show ended, and 3 years without any news regarding Ben 10, without any announcement regarding the 6th iteration of the series. And I just wanted to discuss in today's video how Cartoon Network has just completely fumbled the franchise of Ben 10 over the past decade or so, and how they really they're just at a loss when it comes to Ben 10. They don't know what to do with it. So without further ado, let's get into this. So yes, as I said before, it's the 3-year anniversary in 10 days from when the Ben 10 reboot ended, and if you're someone like me, and I've said this before in prior videos, but if you're someone like me who was not a fan of the Ben 10 reboot, it has been a whopping 10 years coming this fall, and we'll definitely make a video when the 10-year anniversary hits. But this October, November will be the 10-year anniversary of when Ben 10 Omniverse was just thrown off the air. It was being played out at a 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. time slot to use it as a tax write-off. That's the first point in time where Cartoon Network really started to mishandle the Ben 10 franchise. But for someone like me who wasn't a fan of the reboot, for people out there who are like me who love the original continuity, it's been almost 10 years since you've had a Ben 10 show for you, and to me that's just a real shame, and it's part of the mishandling of Ben 10 by Cartoon Network. So let's go back in time. It's 2014. They're airing out the episodes at the 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. time slots. Just get rid of Ben 10. They want to get it off the air. It's not selling toys anymore. They gotta get it off the air, use it as a tax write-off, and move on to something new. At this point in time, the rumors surrounding Ben 10 were two things. Either we're getting a Ben 10,000 series or a Ben 10 reboot. And I remember at the time, me reading these rumors, I was like, really doesn't make sense for us to get a Ben 10 reboot. Why would they reboot Ben 10? The show came out not even 10 years ago. Why would they reboot the franchise? That's a weird thing for them to do. I assume we're getting the Ben 10,000 show. I assume that's what's happening. And of course I was wrong. Of course they did reboot Ben 10, as we all know. And when they first showed the picture of the rebooted Ben, I was like, whoa, he looks like he's 4 years old. What are they doing here? Why are they taking this show in a completely different direction from what we've had previously? And obviously we all know that the reason why they did this is because Cartoon Network got rid of action shows completely. Comedy was gold. Comedy was king on the channel. That's all they were really going for in the mid to late 2010s. That's all the shows. If you look at every show they greenlit, every show was a comedy or at least had some comedic elements in it. So that's the direction they took Ben 10 in, which again I think is a bad move. I think that's part of the mishandling of Ben 10 by Cartoon Network, because they completely ignored everything that came prior to it, not because it did poorly rating wise, just because, hey, the toys aren't selling, we need to sell more merchandise, so let's make Ben 10 younger, let's make him less serious, let's get the kids back into Ben 10 to sell more toys. And while that did work for a brief period of time, the Ben 10 reboot was then canceled. It ended after season 4/season 5 when they had those, because season 4 technically is the last season of the show. The 5th season, if you will, is just 3 TV specials, so technically it had 4 seasons, a movie plus 3 TV specials. And that's when the show ended, because if you look at the toy line sales for Ben 10 for the reboot, it was doing well in season 1, it was doing well in season 2, then it started to fall off when season 3 and 4 happened, and that's when they got rid of Ben 10, the Ben 10 reboot that is, because again, it's not selling toys. So now since then, it's been 3 years, and here's where I really have a problem, because look, as much as I don't like the direction they took Ben 10 in with the Ben 10 reboot, at least they tried something, at least they recognized that, hey, this is our premier property, hey, this is the property that's made us the most money, we can't have it be off the air, we need to make something. And while I disagree with the something that they made, I disagree with the choices they made there, I do at least give them credit for at least doing something with the brand. Now though is another story. Now I criticize them because this is your premier brand. This is the brand that brings you the most money. When people think of Cartoon Network, Ben 10 is one of the first shows that's going to come to mind for most people. It's the most well-known show worldwide that you have ever created. And you've had it off the air now for 3 years. And look, I get it. Things take time to develop. Maybe they want to make the next Ben 10 perfect. Maybe they're returning to the original continuity. Maybe they're doing a brand new continuity in general. As we know, the reboot's not coming back. That's been confirmed at this point by Duncan Rolu and the other people working on Ben 10, whatever this new iteration is. My thing is though, whatever you're working on, regardless of how early it is in development, at least put a statement out saying that, hey, we are working on something regarding Ben 10. And I understand they don't have to do this. They have no reason that they have to do this. But for me, in my mind, I feel like when your brand is struggling, the brand of Cartoon Network that is, I feel like when you don't have much going for yourself, when your brand is really kind of on life support right now, because in all honesty, there's nothing really carrying the network anymore. There's no big property that they have. There's no killer app, if you will, for people to go watch Cartoon Network for. I feel like just putting a statement out saying we are working on the next iteration of Ben 10 would just get more eyes on your brand and get people to maybe pay a little more attention to you and maybe take you a little bit more seriously. Because right now, if you're above a certain age group and you're not super into Cartoon Network, you're not going to pay attention to Cartoon Network at all whatsoever. Where as opposed to maybe if they announced, a new Ben 10 is coming, maybe you would pay attention and keep your tabs on what's going on there just because you're interested in Ben 10. I feel like you'd never see this from any other brand regarding their key property, regarding their killer app, if you will. Nintendo would never not talk about a new Mario, would never not talk about a new Pokemon. There's always something happening and there's always a new game coming. Nickelodeon would never just completely wipe SpongeBob off the face of the earth. As much as I don't like the way they've handled that franchise over the past 10 to 15 years, at least they are still acknowledging that, hey, this is our killer app, this is what makes us us, and we've got to keep making content in this world. Disney would never do that for Star Wars, if you will, or for Marvel. They're still making Star Wars content. They're still making Marvel content. We could argue about the quality of that content, but at least they're still pushing forward with it because they realize those are some of their killer apps, in addition to like Mickey Mouse and all the like traditional Disney stuff, right? But for some reason, Cartoon Network, for some reason, Warner Brothers, even if you dive deeper beyond Cartoon Network, what Looney Tunes is on right now? What Scooby-Doo is on right now? Those are two of Warner Brothers' killer properties that currently don't have any ongoing show in production. When was the last Scooby-Doo? It was Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? That ended production, what, like 2 years ago maybe? 3 years ago? Same thing with the Looney Tunes. What was the last Looney Tunes? They had the Looney Tunes show like a decade ago. They had the new Looney Tunes, which originally was known as Wabbit. Then they had the new Looney Tunes cartoons or whatever they were called on Max. Now there's Tiny Toons University, but I wouldn't really count that as being the new Looney Tunes show that's on the air. They don't have a Looney Tunes show on the air. They just don't. This is a problem with not only Ben 10 and Cartoon Network, but just with Warner Brothers as a whole. They don't know how to treat their killer properties. They don't know how to treat their killer apps. And given that we're coming up on the 3-year anniversary on the biggest property that Cartoon Network has ever created, and they haven't said a single word about it publicly outside of Jason DeMarco and Duncan Rolu speaking about it on Twitter and later revoking their comments in the case of Jason DeMarco, it just confirms everything that I just said. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to handle their killer properties, their big IPs that are world renowned. They just don't know what to do with them. And I really do hope that we do get an announcement this year regarding the next iteration of Ben 10. We know they're working on something because of the comments that have been made on Twitter about it. We just have no idea what that something is. We have no idea when that something is coming, and we have no idea if that something is even going to be on Cartoon Network. In my opinion, I've said before, I think it's going to come to Adult Swim, and that would be a good thing for the franchise, quite frankly, because we won't see another Ben 10 reboot then. We'll see a more serious, dark, and adult-oriented Ben 10 series. But until then, the 3-year anniversary of the reboot ending, the 3-year anniversary of the last Ben 10, it's upon us in 10 days. And Cartoon Network, hopefully you say something soon, because I think the fan base is getting tired of waiting. And honestly, I know the fan base is getting tired of waiting. I was going to sign off, but the last thing I'll say, I see on every video I make that there's comments about Ben 10. And if you look at the Ben 10 videos I post on this channel, they get a lot of people watching them because the fan base has had enough waiting when it comes to Ben 10, and they're clamoring for more. And the fact that you're not acknowledging that, the fact that you're not seeing that, just shows how tone deaf you really are. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about the next iteration of Ben 10 and everything that's been going on with it? Can you believe that it's been 3 years since the reboot ended? Seriously, because I know it's been 3 years, but it really doesn't feel like it's been that long. Time's been moving really fast. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.